The Tennessee Titans, man, they've been really active this offseason. They've made a lot of moves. They bring in Calvin Ridley. They signed Tyler Boyd. They had a pretty good draft. And I believe that Tennessee is a little bit overlooked this season. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to go from worst to first in the AFC South, but I think just too many people just have them penciled in as a lock to finish in last place in this division. I definitely could see them possibly finishing anywhere from second to ahead of the Jaguars in a sense. Now, I'm not saying this is a guarantee, but I do expect them to be really competitive this year. How are you feeling about Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean the Tennessee Titans, they in my opinion, found their quarterback of the near future. I do think Will Levis is going to be really good. He showed flashes last year. They go in the offseason and get guys like Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard. They bring back Nick Westbrook, Keena, getting Sebastian Joseph Day, and getting the guys like Lloyd Cushenberry to load up that interior offensive line, and with a new coaching staff. With Coach Callahan, I definitely think they will be better offensively. Now, defensively and culture wise, I'm not really sure because I think Mike Vrabel had that culture very, very good there in Tennessee. And defensively, they were loaded and they were always competitive. No matter if they were talented enough, if they had the names, they were always competitive defensively. I think they just got kind of stale and kind of got tired of the whole finishing 8-8, 7-10, 9-10 wins maybe, and an AFC South title here and there, or AFC wild card, because they probably just got tired of it and wanted fresh new breath there in Tennessee, and I think they got it again. With the offseason moves that they had and the draft that they turned in, I do think that they're going to be talented. However, the thing is, that's going to separate them from the rest of the AFC South is the quarterback position. Can Will Levis compete with an Anthony Richardson, a C.J. Stroud, a Trevor Lawrence? Will he take that lead? That's the biggest question that you have to ask yourself, because that is the pivotal point of the Titans' success this year. I think right now, clear as day, C.J. Stroud is the best quarterback in that division and better than Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion. And I know it's just 1 year, but I definitely think the upside is there. And I think he's better than Trevor Lawrence. I think after that, I honestly, call me crazy, healthy Anthony Richardson, I'm taking him over Trevor Lawrence, honestly. So Trevor Lawrence is the third quarterback. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's probably the most like polished as far as he gives you more professional NFL kind of prototypical quarterback kind of guy. But as far as talent-wise and upside, I'm taking those two all day. And then when it comes to Will Levis, I think his arm talent is amazing. I think he has the ability to utilize his legs. The mayo and the coffee. I don't know if that's something
the banana peel. That's a little weird to me too.
I don't know if that's something I can rock with, but everything else about him is swagger on the field. I definitely think Tennessee could be a sleeper team. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think that they have made some moves that could surprise a lot of people. I believe they still got my boy Chig, a Newsium from Merlin too, who's a really solid tight end. He needs more opportunity. If they can give him the pill, they'll be really good. So I think they'll be solid. It's all about, can that quarterback arrive, and if he can arrive, then they'll definitely be in the conversation with the Texans and the coach. But right now, I would have them. I would have them at the fourth spot, because I think Houston is better than them. I think the Colts is the second best team in that division. If Anthony Richardson is healthy, they're going to be the team that are going to surprise a lot of people. Then I think it comes Jacksonville. Then I think it is Tennessee. But again, it very well could be a case where if they don't necessarily go from fourth to first, they could be competing for a wild card spot come late November, December into early January.
And the reason why I feel they're being overlooked is because I can see them being in fourth place. I'm not saying that they won't be in fourth place, but I think they got a way better chance of actually competing and being competitive in this division than what people are giving them credit for. Brian Callahan, their new head coach, he was the offensive coordinator the last couple of years down in Cincinnati. This is going to be his first time ever calling plays. So, anytime you got the first time play caller, especially being the head coach, there's going to be some questions there, but we've seen Mike McDaniel look pretty good with his time in Miami so far. He never called plays before when he was on the 49ers staff. Will Levis, there's still a lot of uncertainty about him because I know we all remember his debut against the Falcons. He torched them for 4 touchdowns, no picks. But after that, there were a lot of so-so performances. His game against the Dolphins when they upset them Thursday night was pretty good. And hopefully with him being around the offensive-minded coach, getting away from a defensive-first philosophy and Mike Vrabel will help him make that big jump his second season, because I'm not going to act like he didn't exceed my expectations, because I didn't think the dude was going to be that good at all. When he fell out of the first round, I wasn't really surprised. But for him to have the success that he did on the staff that really didn't know what they were doing on offense does impress me. And their offensive line on the left side is starting to come along. You get J.C. Latham. That dude is built like a damn monster truck. I like their offense. The weapons definitely are there. Yeah, they're a lot older than what you would like. But like you said, you got Chig at tight end. You got a really good group of wide receivers. Running back is where I have issues. Tony Pollard is not a bell cow, and he hasn't been the same since that injury. You also do have Tajay Spears, who looked pretty good, being the spell back to Derrick Henry. I just don't know about their run game this year. And defensively, they got a lot that they have to prove. They get Leonard Wilson, who was on the Ravens staff as their DBs coach. The Ravens normally do pretty good when it comes to hiring the right guys on their coaching staff. So normally if you can hire a guy from Baltimore, you're in pretty good hands, but we'll see. I don't know about their linebacker unit. Kenneth Murray, I don't know if you remember him. He was a former first-round pick out of Oklahoma years back. He's a really big bust in my opinion. Having him out there is definitely a liability. I got more concerns about the defense than I definitely do the offense. I think Will Levis, if he ends up not being good, I don't just see him being one of the worst quarterbacks in the game. I think he'll probably be like a top 20, top 24-ish QB. And I could see him having a similar career to Jake Cutler in a sense. You know, he can be really bipolar at times. But overall, I do feel like, you know, the Titans do have a way better chance of being able to be competitive in this division than what most people expect them to be, though.
Yeah, and I do want to say, losing Aziz Alshire definitely could hurt them big time. I know stat wise he probably wasn't the best last year, but for the last couple of years there in Tennessee, he was kind of that rock. He was really good for them last year. I mean, Kenneth Murray, he was with the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? And he was pretty solid. You know, but I would have liked for them, and I think what hurt it more for me is seeing him go to Houston, which is a rival, right? So he is going to be a big loss for them. However, getting guys like, you know, Chidobe Awuzie, I think he could be really solid for them. And also, like you mentioned earlier, that offensive line is pretty solid. And so, like, I think we share the same kind of concern. Like defensively, we think they'll be okay. I'm not really sure with Mike Vrabel leaving if it's going to be what it was there. But yeah, I think Houston. Tennessee, although it will be close in the AFC South, but I definitely do have them finishing.